Hey, what's happening? This is Seafood Gus. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Today we're going to be talking about Kung Fu and just how big it is. Our version is a Zen Combat style, and today we're going to be really digging deep into the benefits. Because why do it? What's the point in doing it? There's so many wonderful benefits. I've seen it for decades. I've seen it in people for such a long time. But there's also some misconceptions about, well, Kung Fu doesn't do this and Kung Fu doesn't do that. Well, I hope these concepts that we talk about today will definitely answer some of those questions about the benefits. You know, in the world of whatever's popular must be the best, it's hard to navigate through what really is good and really is bad. But I hope that what we give you today is sufficient enough to help you. Also, we're going to be finishing the 8-piece brocade. If you've been watching the other episodes, you've been getting a little piece at a time. But today, you'll get the full 8 pieces and some drills and things you should do at the end. I think it's a wonderful thing to add to your daily routine. Qigong is amazing. I think that everyone should be adding it no matter what you do. If you do martial arts, if you do fitness, I hope that what we're going to be talking about today will definitely benefit you, because I think to walk around and not live your best you, I think we're all made better than that. A lot of people will write to me and say, well, Sifu Gus, you know, Kung Fu doesn't address street fighting. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. If you're not learning it, then you should learn it. And that's what the whole concept of King Kong Palm is for, as well as the village stuff, because we're teaching it for practical reasons. And the art has to be practical, right? If you're teaching something and it's in fantasy, then it just doesn't work. So when people say, well, Kung Fu doesn't fight, yeah, Kung Fu does a lot of fighting. If you're not practicing it, and how do you know? You should be practicing 60% of your training should be in some form of hand-to-hand combat. The other 40% could be in other things, but you should be spending 60% of your time in making everything practical. If you're a practitioner and you're not sure, and you're training under someone, ask them. And then measure, right? Are we doing what we say we're doing? And that's important to know, because you don't want to be practicing something for one thing, right? You don't want to be practicing drills for basketball, but you're about to play a football game. And that's really important to know. You want to make sure that you are clear on what you are receiving. And us as instructors, that's our role in your life. Our role as your guide is to guide you down that path, to teach you how to reach your goals combatively, physically, spiritually, all the way around. So a lot of things in Zen Combat is important, so you have to have it a specific way for you as the individual to grow. So when you have fighting, right, we have to have it in an unfair scenario. So you'll use the tools and the principles to overcome. I always say everyone knows what to do. Doing it is always a harder thing to do, right? So it's important to have it challenging. We really challenge people. Maybe not your first day, but you will get challenged quite a bit, and it will be unfair. But we want you to understand how to control your mind, how to be at one with yourself, how to act versus react out in public. And those things are important when you're doing Zen Combat. So one of the things I love about Zen Combat, the whole concept in itself, is this is where self-care meets self-protection. And you have to have it in a way that really benefits you as a practitioner. So that's what I like about it. It molds to you over time. The real world training in Zen Combat is important because it toughens the emotions and it gives us the balance to teach us how to grow. And those things are important in everyday life, in every aspect of your life. One of the other things is it takes us out of our comfort zone. It forces us to use the tools that we have cultivated. And that's the deeper aspect of Zen. I like what Master Wu Nanfang at the Gulan school in China said. He said, Chan, which is Zen, needs the world. So you need to have something in your life that pushes up against you to toughen you up a little bit. If you have nothing, if everything is based on your comfort, then how do you grow? You know, I don't know how if that is even possible. Maybe. Comment down below. And remember, there's no easy fix. There's just the work. You know, you're working on yourself. You're cultivating yourself. One of the beautiful things you learn in Zen Combat is dangerous people choose to be peaceful. Outside of that, you're emotional. It's important for you to get total control of what you feel, what you understand, and what your reaction to things are. And that's why Zen Combat is such a wonderful way of training. One of the things in Zen Combat you have to learn about the human body. I didn't know much about it when I first started, which was good, it took me time, but it is important to know about the anatomy and how it functions and different things like that. And the science, the physics of how to move someone or move yourself, it is really important for not only for destruction, for health as well. So reason why Zen Combat is a longevity art is because of these concepts of learning the anatomy of the body, understanding why they work. When fantasy portrays violence, it betrays reality. It's okay for movies. Fantasy-based training is dangerous for the practitioner and should stay out of reality-based martial arts. So now, with all that said about Zen Combat, let's talk about some of the other deeper benefits that people get. Most people see us either sitting and meditating or doing Tai Chi or Qigong, or they see us beating the absolute bejeebus out of each other. But there's some benefits to that. So I want you guys to know some of the many benefits that you get out of practicing combat. We're going to start with fighting first. First, you learn to deal with conflict, not from an emotional perspective, but from a balanced perspective. And conflict can always come around, especially these days. And also, learning combat teaches you how to be comfortable and confident in your skin. It also teaches you how to deal with chaotic and stressful situations. You get in peak condition, and also you learn how to draw boundaries with people. These are all the benefits that you're learning in fighting. Oh, by the way, we're not done. You learn to adapt and overcome practical survival strategies. You learn these things the quickest when someone's throwing a punch at you. One of the other things you learn is problem solving, making decisions, and then making them under pressure. Understanding that the discomfort that's in combat training is really important for personal growth. It teaches you how to be mindful in the moment, how to calm your emotions, how not to react, how to use the tools that you've gained to act. But that is only activated once put under pressure. And the other thing is learning how to discipline your emotions. That's a tough one. You know, we are an emotional society, we're emotional people, so learning how to control it versus allowing it to control us is really, really important. And the main thing you learn in fighting is focus. You know, there's many days when I was not focused on the floor and I paid for it dearly. And it's important. You learn when you take that focus into everyday life, into your relationships, into your business, that you tend to see things that people can't see right away. And for those of you who are in business, you tend to see that your level of success increases because you have this type of focus. And some people call it laser focus, but it is extremely important to have this focus when you're training in Zen Combat. So now let's talk about Zen or Chan. If you ever hear me say Chan, I'm talking about Zen at the same time. They're the same thing. For those who don't know, a little brief history. There was Chan first in China, and then when it went to Japan, it became Zen. It's important to understand that. So if you ever hear me say Chan, I'm talking about Zen. I say Zen because more people know about Zen. But the one thing you learn about Zen is how to find a calm heart, right? And the other thing you learn is Zen is about overall health. It's not just getting in supreme physical shape. There's an internal component that we all need, and you tend to learn about the needing of that either when you're in trouble or as you start to age. And this internal component is really, really important. Almost everyone I know who's either in martial arts or fitness are doing some form of internal work, and it is important, whether it's Tai Chi, yoga, Pilates, Qigong, just simple stretching, just simple mindfulness training. It is extremely important as we age. So the Zen, so all that Zen. So the Zen component is really important. So another thing you learn in Zen or Chan is breath control. Breath control is important. It helps us become more flexible. And when I say flexible, I don't only mean the physical body and flexibility, I also mean the mind at the same time. And learning how to be more adaptive right? You can adapt to any situation. You can put me in most any group and I'll be okay with. Probably some groups I probably shouldn't be in, but I can still generally hold my own, because a martial artist, when you train in the Zen mindset and you train in the combative mindset, you're forced to have to understand how to adapt to those situations. One of the other things you learn about Zen Combat is you learn how to be patient, and you learn how impatient you are with yourself, with time, with people around you. All that gets exposed and it comes to the surface in Zen Combat. You also learn that fear is an illusion. It can distract us from many things. A good friend of mine once said in a sermon, if the devil can't get you in trouble, he'll definitely keep you busy. The other thing you learn in Zen Combat is you become kind to all living creatures. You learn to be in the moment. And the moment is important because the moment is really all you have at that time. You know, people see us fighting and they forget that we do use the spiritual heart when it comes to helping people and respecting others and showing a level of decency. And I think that's one of the things that we're losing sight of, is that decency. Even animals can be decent to each other. And you can't go through Zen training without understanding the spiritual heart. The spiritual heart, it really is an amazing thing, because it teaches you, the way we should respect one another and love one another, because we're all in this together no matter what anyone thinks or anyone says. So here it is, the 8-piece brocade. All the pieces and a couple little drills at the end that you guys can add to your daily practice. I think it's such an amazing exercise to do daily. There's so much information out there about the 8-piece brocade, so I won't bore you with it here, but look it up. It really does heal and it does help. So thank you guys for checking out this episode. I hope that you guys really got something out of this one. And comment down below if you want to see more things from the village, if you want more information about King Kong Palm, the combative YouTube channel. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. We have now crossed over 500 subscribers. Our goal is 1,000. Thank you so much. I couldn't have done this without you. Share this information with someone. I want everyone to be in tune with themselves and live their best life. So if you know someone who needs this, please share this to them. Remember to like and subscribe because we want to get those numbers up to our next goal, which is 1,000. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.